Best part of my day, my Buster Cuddles. I was out in the snow with him last night. It was only a little light dusting. Took him round the block and seeing his little paw prints in the snow, I had to stop and take a picture. I think I'm going to write a poem inspired by that picture. Now, I'll get back to you, viewers. Our first dusting of snow tonight, viewers. Following in Buster's little paw prints. He don't do bad for an old boy. So I wrote a piece inspired by Buster's footprints, but it didn't turn out to be a piece of poetry. It's just a thought-provoking article that I wrote. I will read it to you now, viewers. You'll have to bear with me because I can't remember all of this. I am reading it off my second phone. Shout out to Terry Lacey, who's messaging me on the side of this as we speak. Get out, Terry. Get out into the countryside, and I hope all goes well when you see your specialist about your back, mate. As soon as he gives you the big green light thumbs up, I shall be coming to see you and we'll go detecting. Right, this is called Footprints in Time. Footprints in Time. In 1972, I used to sit beside my great-grandmother Sarah's bed. I was 4 years old and I wish she could have gone for a walk with me. Nuns in their black and white garb used to bring her tins of biscuits. We never had that walk, but she did leave me a smile as she went on up to heaven. Over time, those empty biscuit tins brought by the nuns filled up with family photographs. My nanny Kitty didn't walk with me much. She was too busy doing this and that. I used to walk on my own doing errands for my nan, taking a shilling to the bookies with a note, a silver coin pinned on Lester Piggott's steed, a shopping trip for some woodbines or a cheap cut of meat. My mum Vera held my hand and walked me to school my very first time, around about the time when Sarah was bedbound eating only biscuits. Mum walked to my first doctor's appointment and my first time at the dentist. I'm not sure if we walked home or a car was involved, as I was woozy from the gas and covered in blood. My mother held me by the hand and walked with me till I was a teenager. She never drove, my mum. From then on I walked alone, accompanied only by a gang of feral teenagers, but so did many others. We influenced each other badly and walked into lots of trouble. Unsurprisingly, when I walked into the lion's den, I always found my friends had dawdled and I went in on my own. I walked into dark backstreet garages or crossed the threshold of a high-rise flat in a strange city. Alone, always alone when deals were to be done. In industry, I travelled the country and parts of Europe. I walked on decks of aircraft carriers as we covered them in fresh paint. I walked down aisles filled with flowers as we furiously plucked them for the market. Along the way, I had to walk to a few funerals and some weddings. Nanny Kitty, I walked to hers in 1997. She waited for the family all to gather, then turned her back to the wall and left. Mum, well, that was complicated and painful, but I walked to her funeral in the year 2000. She'd suffered too much and I asked Kitty to come and collect her. I kept on walking, especially just then, as I felt lost and I wasn't thinking straight. I walked into lots of trouble and made lots of bad decisions. I kept on walking though, you know, like you do. I walked off addiction and some health troubles. I walked until I found a new set of friends. Most of these were reliable and enjoyed my company. I walked with them and we found treasure and made videos. Along the way, I walked straight into Rachel's heart and never left. We walked on beaches on holidays and on our honeymoon. We walked along Cotswold footpaths, breathing freely and smiling those smiles. You know the ones. We spent countless happy hours together just being silly. Then we had to start walking to the doctors. I'm not going to dwell on this bit because it's too painful. I found myself amongst a few friends and family walking up to the cemetery path to my darling's COVID funeral. 2020, the year of masks and all kinds of wrongs in the world. Every time I walk away after taking her flowers, I hold out my hand and imagine she is walking with me. Now I go walking with my wife's dog Buster, and sometimes her cat Tilly joins me. Last night, whilst walking Buster in the snow, I stopped to take a picture of his paw prints. 16 years old and enjoying life greatly still. Buster's paw prints captured in snow and in time. This picture won't make it into Sarah's old biscuit tin. No nuns come around these days. Soon to be 2022, not 1972. Enjoy your walks, everyone, for time, just like snow, is fleeting. Choose carefully who accompanies you and cherish the memories before they melt away in the thaw. Well, it wasn't a poem and it didn't flow freely, but it's full of heartfelt memories, viewers. Right, let's see what else we can get up to. Well, Buster's enjoying his walk anyway, up by the White House and the lovely River Avon there. I'm just going to keep him on this path and then bring him back down. Crazy world we live in these days. I seen a friend of mine, English lad, he put on his Facebook last week, "Oh, fucking hell, fucking sick of this country. I hate it. I'm going to get a passport and move to America." I just told him to start having a look at a few videos of America and how it is lately. Places like Oakland, California, Seattle, no jobs, no police, plenty of homeless, lots of opportunities for you to be homeless out in America these days, God bless them. Even the middle class now are losing their homes, and the homeless shanty towns. Literally, if you think of a third world country where the shacks are just made out of pallets and polythene, that's in lots and lots of streets in America now. Yeah, I've just had my Dutch friend, well, he's kind of Belgian Dutch, kind of on the border. He's just been in Messenger saying his countries are fucked. I told him got a spare room in my flat for him if he wants it, because he's a good egg, Johnny, and he likes to metal detect and he's clever. But I said, our country's fucked too, mate. Our country's fucked too. In fact, Buster wrote a song about it all. It's not very revealing. It just goes like this. Our government is fucking shit. Our government is fucking shit. Our government is fucking shit. Your government's fucking shit too. That's it. There's only one verse. But you know what? I think he's took a leaf out of his dad's book, old Buster. Yeah. He's hit the nail on the head. And he's having a shit. My hands are cold, viewers. My hands are cold. I might use Buster's doggy bag as a hand warmer. I'm not that desperate, viewers. It did pop into my head last night. It did poop into my head, but not into my hands. Imagine having to use your dog bags as hand warmers. But yeah, it's getting to that time of year where I have to just buy a pair of gloves from a garage because my hands are very warm. I'll wear them 1.5 times, then I'll lose one, so I'll chuck the other one away. No doubt if I go in, I'll find one of last year's gloves. Maybe if I keep that up, I'll find enough odd gloves come winter. I never seem to have a good track record with gloves, viewers. I always lose them. I'm tempted to pop the full cheroot and pay 30 odd quid, 40 quid for a pair of those moleskin gloves. But I know even if I paid £100 for a pair of gloves, 2 days later it'd be 50 quid down. Maybe I should get mittens, like when kids went to school and they had bits of string coming off the mittens, and they tied them onto the end of their jumpers or coats. Maybe that's a route to go down for this winter, viewers. Mittens. I'm having a pot noodle. I'm having a pot noodle. I'm having a pot noodle, 'cause I am on the dole. My mate is on the dole and he's worried about this world we live in. He told me a tip that you can use for your pot noodles, because that's all he eats. He only eats pot noodles, viewers. Pot noodles. And he only eats chicken and mushroom ones. But you know, like the soothsayers of old, the ones from ancient Rome and that, the Oracle of Delphi or whatever, well, they used to seek out the oracles for answers in troubled times. Well, my mate who's poor and on a dole, he can't afford to go to Rome and look into the ruins and see if he can find the oracle. So what he does, it's a bit like, you know, reading tea leaves. He reads his pot noodle. He reads his pot noodle, the dregs, and the more sense he can make of it, the more he knows he's losing his grip. If he looks into it and he thinks, can't make any sense out of that, he knows he's having a good day. If he looks into it and he picks the winner for Cheltenham and predicts the fucking Prime Minister's next stitch-up, he knows he needs to take a few more of his happy pills. So I'm having a pot noodle, viewers, and I'll see what I can make of it at the end. Oh, mighty pot noodle, do your thing, do your thing. Cook gently for me, for you are the only thing I know how to cook. Do your magic, pot noodle, so I can cast my luck. Let us taste the mighty noodle. Mmm. 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 Oh, it's got overtones of reconstituted lorry tyres and dead flowers. The longer you leave it, the more you can taste the rubber. Pot noodle. And just like there was many oracles who could predict the future in the ancient worlds of Rome and Greece and whatnot, there are many ways to eat your pot noodle. And don't forget, it's the traces on the bottom of the carton that will predict the future. So how you eat it is important. It's going to affect your future. It is, honest. Some people eat it with a fork. Some people are sippers. I do a bit of both, viewers. And also, it massively affect your future, what seasonings you put into it. Some people will just put the soy sauce in. Sometimes I ram it with a quarter of a pepper pot. I like pepper. If I really want to make it quite exotic, I'll add pepper and HP sauce. And if you want to fluff it up into like a full-blown meal, instead of just a large cheap snack, have 2 slices of bread with it, dip 2 slices of bread with it, and it's like a full meal. You could even get some powdered custard for afters, viewers. But remember, however you eat it and whatever you add to it does affect the future. Also, depends how much of a true lost cause you are. Some people, they won't eat the dregs. But remember, the more you eat and how you eat it, the more this is going to affect the future. I must just say that there are 2 readings you can get off every pot noodle. A personal reading and one for wider global events. So I'm just going to stare into this pot for a few minutes, viewers, while I try and make sense of it. And then I will give you my personal reading for my friends, no, for myself and for my friends and followers. And then I will give you the global lowdown. All live from the Chicken and Mushroom King Pot Noodle. In the year of our Lord, 2020 fucked. Right, I'm going to use this Roman scribe tool, and it is, honestly, it really, really is. I'm going to use that to point out some key things about my pot noodle and what they mean. All right, viewers. Well, can you see that big conflagration of noodles in the bottom? That's you lot, viewers. That's my friends, my viewers, my family, everybody who's close to me and means a lot to me. You're all down there together in the bottom of the pot noodle. This dark spot here, that is predicting that I will not get any peace. Not a minute goes by of the day when one of my friends or viewers or someone isn't hitting me up, or the dog's barking, or needs a shit. Yes, so no peace for Stevie just now. I've got Terry Lacey in my messenger as I make this video. I predict he'll send me another message in a minute saying how crazy I am. There is Alice from up by Glasgow. I predict that when she sees this video, she will be pissing herself because I've got it wrong again, Alice. It's up by Edinburgh. That's why you'll be laughing, innit? Not because I'm seeing you in a pot noodle. That is David from Wales, who didn't give me any cash towards my Deus 2 yesterday, and I didn't expect any off anybody. But he did give me a bit of weed. So it's all down to David, this video, whether I upload it or not. If his weed's any good, I'll have a bit later. And if I feel daft enough, I'll include this pot noodle reading in my daily videos. See that bit there? That bit there on the very top that escaped being synthesized by the hot water, that is Buster. That is Buster, because he is the top dog, and I predict he's going to bark again. See? So it does happen. This bit here is the people. It represents the people who watch my videos who don't like anything I do. I do have, I don't know, I'd say maybe 50 people who watch my videos only to see what that person who they really don't like is up to again. So, you know, when you get a bit of excrement stuck to your toilet bowl, when you get a bit of excrement stuck to your toilet bowl and you have to get out the old bog brush, that flake of a green grass-like material represents the haters stuck to the side of your toilet. And you do watch my videos, and I predict that you'll be watching this one now. and yeah, you'll scratch your head, and one of you will be scratching a right tit. As I say this, immediately you'll think, what the fuck, how come he knows that? Because I fucking know, that's why. This line here, that is my future success. If that line is quite long, which it is, viewers, it is quite long, that predicts some of my future successes. Each little millimetre of that line there is a future success. And I predict the cat will come and have a sniff. How timely, Tilly. How timely. These two big concretions here, they represent the metal detecting trade, the manufacturers and the shops. And they sit up there quite high up, as they deserve to sit high up. And they constantly scratch their heads, just not knowing what to make of me, or whether to get me on board, or whether to treat me like an itinerant, wandering lunatic. So yeah, that is the trade in the metal detecting industry. Last but not least, those two there, they represent good luck, the top one, and fortune. And the higher up they are to the pot noodle, the more good luck and fortune not only me but my friends are going to have. And that's not even the fill line there, that's beyond the fill line. So our luck and fortune, viewers, are right up on the fill line. So me and everybody watching for the right reasons are going to have a lot of luck and fortune. If you're watching because you can't stand me but you need to know what I'm doing, don't forget that toilet will always get flushed. It will. And downwards you will eventually go. Yeah, just like that, see? So stop watching them if you haven't got my good intentions at heart. Crack on with your own life. I predict things might even improve for you guys. Now, the secondary reading for the wider world and community. I know I've knocked that bit down. I knocked that bit down as if it was an analysing the dregs going down the toilet. But we'll forget about that bit. I think that was just to do with North Korea. And they're always going down the pan anyway. This is the media and the government. And they're in a big tussle to try and control the world right now. And they just keep feeding us lies and new COVID variants and new ways to keep us scared. But you see that line there? That line represents hope and freedom for the people all around the world who are being controlled by their government. If there was no pot noodle dreg on or by that line, then we would be stuffed. If it was halfway up, then we would be halfway to winning this battle against the controlling governments of the world. But you see that there, viewers? That means that the world is waking up and there'll be lots more riots. People will be tearing up their COVID passes and not sticking their arms out for any more jabs. We have turned a corner, viewers, on the global tyranny that is COVID hysteria. Driven by the government, remember, and the media, not by the poor people who've actually got COVID, God bless them, driven by the tyrants. We the people shall overcome. The pot noodle predicts it. But remember, viewers, pot noodles aren't for everybody. If you can't put your trust in a pot noodle, put your trust in guns and dynamite.